Let's fix this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, professional streamer right here. We're going to see how many different ways we can spell pad CU today. Alrighty, let's try that. Hello and welcome to the kitchen, everybody. Today we are going to do pad CU, except I do not have the appropriate kind of rice noodles, so we are going to cheat. That being said, instead of rice noodles, egg noodles will work just fine, and we are going to get some water boiling for those. Now, luckily, I was semi-responsible and stuck a pan in the dishwasher earlier. Unluckily, it didn't clean up all that well, so we're just going to give it a quick little scour right here, right now. There we go. That looks much, much better. So how's everyone doing today? It is 5:14. It is 5:15, and I have closed up shop for the day. And I feel wonderful about it because it has been a long week, and it's only Monday. That said, we'll get a little water here. And we'll stick that on the stove there. Now, to that water we are going to add a little bit of salt, because salt is tasty and delicious. We'll turn that down before it melts the bottom of my pot. And to keep the noodles from sticking, we are going to add just a teeny tiny little bit of oil. Alright. Now that is going to be pretty much the first part of this. Now, we're using the wrong kind of noodles, but for everything else it's going to be just fine. Because, oh, where's my eggs? ¿Dónde están los huevos? Okay, here we go. Eggs! Alright, so it wouldn't be pad CU without eggs. And so we are going to put eggs and tofu. Let me get my abura here. Let's see which one's the new one, which one's the old one. You know what? Why don't we just use all of it? There we go. Abura or fried tofu. It's delicious in pad CU, and you guys are going to like this. So we've got eggs and fried tofu for the thing. You can also put meat or chicken or fish or whatever you want in pad CU, but I like the fried tofu because it's really, really good. So while that gets to boiling, we are going to get our eggs going, because one thing that I like to do is crack the eggs ahead of time so we don't get a bunch of shells and things in them. And if we do get a bunch of shells and things in them, we can pretty much get rid of them. Hey Ma, how's it going? Welcome to the kitchen. I'm making Thai noodles today. Cracking eggs and making sure we don't get a bunch of shells in them or anything like that. How you doing? I saw that picture you sent me of oh, what was the dog's name? Fernando. I love Fernando. He's adorable. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put all 4 eggs in this thing, because it'll serve me food for the next few days. What do y'all think? There we go. All right. Very nice. Now, let me wash my hands real quick here. So yeah, I can't tell you how glad I am that it's after 5. It's been a long day. A good day, but a long day. Here we are. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with the eggs. We are going to add a little bit. Oh, where's my soy sauce? Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait on that. I'll do that when they're in the pan. What I am going to do is take them and I'm going to whip them. So if any of you guys don't know how to whisk eggs, I can't help you. You take a fork, you whisk the eggs, you make them. You know what? If you want your eggs light and fluffy, and this is a trick, I don't know if my mom taught me this or if my Grandma Weber taught me this. One of you all did, but a little dollop of milk in your eggs will make them nice and light and fluffy. Everyone likes fluffy eggs. Now let's add a little seasoning to these. They need some black pepper, because black pepper is always good. Not sure whether it's traditional in Thai food or not, but we're putting it in ours. Okay, the water is hot enough, and again, we are not using rice noodles, we are using egg noodles. But that's okay, because it's going to be just as tasty, if not quite as authentic. We're just going to whisk this egg up here real quick, and see how it not only changes color, but consistency as you whip the milk into it. It makes the egg a little lighter and fluffier, and it actually is a little more bubbly. That's because that milk is working its magic over there. So we're just going to leave that real quick. And make sure that we get the noodles down there so that when they boil up right. Our tofu is frozen, but it is actually going to thaw out pretty quick. It smells so good. So that's what it looks like. It's still a little frozen, so I'm going to set it over there to kind of warm up a bit. Matter of fact, what I'm probably going to do is set it on a plate on the burner of the stove that I'm not using just yet, so that it's kind of near the warmth and it'll thaw out pretty quick. We're also going to rinse it off in a minute to make sure it doesn't get any of those little freezery ice crystals on it. You don't want those because they don't taste good, so we're going to go ahead and hit that with a little water real quick, just to kind of make sure that it doesn't make it taste bad. There we go. We're going to be throwing it in a sauce anyway, so getting it a little bit wet isn't going to hurt anything. Here's a big piece of it, which I think I'm going to go ahead and thaw and throw in, just because I like a lot of this stuff. There we go, look at that. Large piece of fried tofu. We're just going to let that sit there and be, and then we're going to put it in the noodles after it's ready to roll. Now these should only take a few minutes, but we want to keep stirring them because if we don't, they will stick together into a brick. Especially with the amount of water I stuck in there. Oh wait, let's go dispose of this. There we go. Very nice. Alrighty. This is going to be really, really good. This is going to be pad sorta you, because we don't have the rice noodles. Now we're probably going to want a side dish with this, and I regret to say that the side dish is not going to be all that fancy. We're going to do some mukimame, heat it up, put a little salt on it, give it a toss. It'll be fine, but that only takes 30 seconds, so we're going to wait till the end to do that. And in the meantime, we're just kind of keeping an eye on our noodles here. What would probably behoove us to do is to get a strainer so when it comes time to drain these things, I'm not scrambling all over the place. So what are you guys up to today? Anything good? Anything fun? It's Monday. I mean, it's all downhill from here. Tomorrow's Tuesday, and then we got a Wednesday coming up. Speaking of which, Mom, if you're still there, I'm planning on popping down and seeing you on Wednesday. That'll be fun, so pick out a good movie. Now, we're just waiting for these noodles to soften up a little bit. And what we're going to end up doing after we drain them is we're going to cook the eggs in the bottom of this pot. And then we're going to throw the noodles back in along with the tofu after we've cut it up. And we're going to get it good and tasty. Although, two things. One, I wish I had some onions, and I don't think I have an onion, which would be pretty tasty in this, although maybe not necessarily traditional. We will put some garlic in it. And the sauce will be a mixture of oyster sauce, fish sauce, and soy sauce. Add a little garlic powder, because I like garlic. And it should have a pinch of sugar, which I'm going to go very light on. Butter for frying the eggs at first. And it's going to be very, very tasty. Oh, look! Our watched pot is finally starting to boil. And those noodles are softening up real nice, which is good. So while we wait on those, why don't we chop up our little bits of tofu. Our aburage. Aburage is delicious. And not necessarily Thai, but close enough. There we are. Uh-oh. My thing stopped streaming. I'm going to reload the page just in case. That's going to be delicious. There we go. 16 pieces there. Nice. All right. These are really, really good, and I'm looking forward to them. There we go. All right, tofu. It's better than it sounds, I promise. Uh-oh. There we go. And these are almost ready. We need them to soften up just a little bit more. Watch you guys up a little bit. There we are. Hello, everyone. Okay. Now, this is almost ready. So we have to start the eggs going in a minute here, and then we'll dump the tofu in, and then the noodles back in, and let them go. Also, while I'm thinking of it, let's get a pinch of sugar now so I'm not scrambling around for it later. There we go. I don't use a whole lot of sugar when I'm cooking, but you know. If the recipe calls for it, there's no reason not to have it. Okay, so first things first, drain our noodles. And we'll rinse out our pan a little bit too here. There we go. Get any noodles stuck to the bottom off. Now, we are going to start with some butter so that we can cook up our eggs. We're just going to kind of lightly scramble these eggs like you do. And it doesn't matter if there's a couple little bits and bobs of noodle in there, because the noodle's going back in the pan. So get this butter going here, and that'll make a nice sauce for the noodles as well. Get that good and warm. Bacon Maker! Woo! How you doing, man? We are making Pad See Ew Thai noodles. And, well, we're cheating. We don't have rice noodles, so I'm using egg noodles. It'll be fine. How you doing today? It's good to see you. It's a little different with egg noodles than rice noodles. A little different flavor, but not bad. So, we've got our butter and some salt in the bottom of the pan. We've got 4 eggs whisked with pepper and milk. We're just gonna stick that in there. There we go. All right. How are you doing this afternoon, my man? There we go. Got to keep this side scraped down and kind of keep these moving because we don't want them to scorch or burn anywhere. And what we're trying to do is just kind of get them good and scrambled. We don't want an omelet. What we want is like little chunklets, little pieces of egg all over the place because they will mix in nicely with the noodles. So just keep scraping and make sure that you keep them separated so that they don't glom up into one great big omelet. It's a little too hot, so we're going to turn it down. Essentially, we're just making scrambled eggs right now. There we go. Okay, now we are going to add soy sauce. A little more, because we're going to need to toss the noodles in this. We are going to add a dollop of oyster sauce, if we can get the cap off. A little bit of oyster sauce. Okay, let's scrape this up. That's what that's supposed to look like. Now we're going to throw in the tofu. Hello, Paris One. How you doing? We are making kind of a sort of a Pad See Ew. I think you're the one that gave me the idea for this, and I really appreciate it. Of course, I find that I don't have any rice noodles today, so I'm making it with egg noodles. But it's going to come out just fine, I think. So we're going to throw in our noodles, which are already pre-cooked. And this pot is a little too small for what I wanted, but it's coming together pretty nicely, so I'm not going to complain. We need a little more soy sauce. And, sorry guys, I'm kind of in the little manic part of cooking here. A little dot of the fish sauce, not too much because it's really strong and delicious, but you don't want too much of it, and a little more of the oyster sauce, which is wonderful. And I think I'm going to put a little more butter in there just to kind of give it some deliciousness. There we go. I need to stir this all around a bit, and we also need a pinch of sugar. But before we get to that, I am going to come and see how you guys are doing. So this isn't the prettiest Pad See Ew I've ever made, but the important thing is how it tastes. Yes, the tofu is deep fried. I cheated a little bit. I had some aborage in my freezer that I wanted to get rid of, so I used aborage. The soy sauce is not the sweet kind, which is why I'm adding a little pinch of sugar, and I'm also adding a little garlic, because I like garlic, and I think it'll help it out a little bit. Just a small little pinch of sugar so that it makes up for not having the sweet soy sauce. And a little tiny bit more to keep it from getting too dry. There we go, and from the smell of it, I think we need a touch more of the fish sauce. There we go. That should do the trick. That smells just exactly how it should. The pot's a little too small for the amount that I've made, but it's looking really good, and from what I can tell, it's going to taste really good. I'm just folding it to make sure all that sugar and other stuff goes in, and the garlic powder, so that I don't get one bite of it that's like just full of it. And hey, it's Eclectic Elizabeth and Overworld YT. Welcome to my kitchen. How are you guys doing today? Why can the pad see you? Well, because it is delicious and it wants you to know about it. Man, that smells good, y'all. Let's give it a taste, shall we? That's just exactly how it should be. All it needs to cook a little longer. So, that is the wrong lid for that. And actually, it's still a little dry. I think we need a little more sauce on it, and maybe just a little water to keep it from drying out. There we go. Now that'll cook off. The water will cook off. We want to bring it down low so that it doesn't welt to the bottom of the pan. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The sauce is, of course, a mixture of oyster sauce, fish sauce, soy sauce. I already put a little black pepper in it because I like black pepper. In fact, needs a little more. There we go. Pinch of sugar, little salt, little butter, and that's about it. I used aborage, which is deep fried tofu, and it's delicious. Just got off work, and this looks amazing. Why, thank you. Any of y'all are welcome to come on over and eat with me anytime you want. Doing pretty neat, adding some finishing touches to your Overworld. I can't wait to see your. Troll level, because I bet it's going to be awesome. I'm just going to put these sauces back up here, put my sugar away, and of course our side dish tonight is going to be mukimame, but that's not very exciting. It's just, you know, the frozen stuff. You put it in a bowl, you microwave it, you add a little salt and toss it, and it's done. That said, it's a wonderful, can't make you make it good. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so, edamame, soybeans, mukimame, they're wonderful and delicious. Of course, they don't necessarily look appetizing when you get them out of the freezer, but it'll be fine after we microwave. That said, let's see what this is doing. We want to stir it around a little bit, because what we don't want is the stuff on the bottom getting dry or awful or burned or anything like that. The other trick is you don't want to move it around so much that the noodles disintegrate, kind of like I'm making them do. Of course, the trick there is that, again, I'm using egg noodles as opposed to rice noodles, which is not traditional, but it's what I had. let's give this a taste and see what it's up to. Oh yeah. So I'm actually just going to turn that off, cover it up, and let it sit because it is done. And that was the majority of the cooking stream. Now we still need to microwave this real quick, and then I'll plate all this up and let you guys see what it looks like when it's ready to roll. Let's see. The DS cooking game. Yes, the DS cooking games are getting pretty advanced. You know, so real, you can almost taste them. But yeah, one of the things that I do like to do while I'm finishing up is to kind of clean up so that I don't have to when it's all over with. But the problem today is that my dishwasher is full. I just did a load of dishes, and so I can't really do anything about it right now. So, but here is the fried, wait, which way is up? There we go. This is the fried tofu. It is called aburage. And that's what you're looking for right there. It is wonderful. And really tasty in Pad CU. Where's the chef from America's Test Kitchen? I don't know which particular chef that is. Alright, these are about halfway done. See, they're no longer in a clump. So this would be kind of the ideal time to stir them around a little bit. Let's get our chopsticks. Stir those around just a little bit so that, you know, they're not in a clump anymore. Throw them back in for another 30 seconds and hope that the microwave does not kill my Wi-Fi signal. America's Test Kitchen. Who is the chef in America's Test Kitchen? Because I can probably try to imitate them. Is it Julia Child? Today we are going to cook a Thanksgiving turkey. Or is it maybe Jacques Pepin? Today we are going to get the gelatine with the pig's foot. DS game and you're trying to find a picture of them. Oh, hey, Kaladin, how's it going? You are just in time for food. Well, actually, you're a little bit late to watch the food being cooked. I've about finished with it. I've got a bowl of edamame going here, which is fine, except I'm dropping it everywhere. But I have made Pad CU. Oh my, that smells good. I've made Pad CU. I kind of cheated because I don't have rice noodles, so I used egg noodles. And we have also added fried tofu, which is really good. The sauce was made of a combination of sugar, just a pinch of sugar. We got soy sauce, just regular old soy sauce. We have got oyster sauce. We have got fish sauce. We have got a little bit of garlic and black pepper. And of course there's egg in there, which is really good. We cooked the egg in butter because I like eggs cooked in butter. So we have a mixture of noodles, eggs, soy, fish, and oyster sauce, and fried tofu. That was wonderful. Thai, actually. It's actually Thai, but because of the aburage, I've got a little bit of Japanese inspiration, and because of the egg noodles, maybe Italian. So it's we're gonna call it fusion cuisine. We're going to call it fusion cuisine. But that said, the edamame is almost done. Also Japanese, by the way. And so we are going to plate this up and then enjoy the heck out of it. And I'm going to throw the stream over to the man, the myth, the legend, Noisy Boy Jr. Ooh, look at that. You can see the eggs in there, and they look, there's a big old chunk of egg right there. And I am going to savor that because I love eggs in my noodles. Okay, so we have got that. Let's get some edamame going. which is always good. One of the things that's always good is to just, add a little bit of salt to it, not a whole lot, and just give it a little toss. Make sure that, they all get well coated. This bowl's a little too small for that, but, All right, we'll just sprinkle these out onto our plate a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served. Let me move you guys over here so that you can see it. Anyone got any questions before I start the raid procedures? And there we have it. Look at that! Doesn't that look good? You never had edamame? Well, it's actually really, really good. They're very delicate little beans. They have a real decent flavor. They're mild. They're non-offensive. They're not very strong. And they just have a wonderful, fresh taste. And with a little salt, they're perfect. The wife and you went and saw the Shazam over the weekend. Oh, very cool. Well, I am glad to hear that. I will have to give it a look-see. But yeah, edamame is very good. I love butter beans and lima beans and things like that, but these little guys, nowhere near that strong. They're very mild, buttery's the wrong word. They're just pleasant little things. I like them. They're not much of a flavor one way or the other. They just, taste green, and not green like a vegetable, but I don't know how to describe it. Just give them a try, because they're good, especially with a little salt. That said, yes, frozen edamame are really good. And what I got here was, it's called mukimame. It's the edamame, but it's pre-shelled, so that you don't have to deal with the pods on them. Although, if you do get the pods on them, one of the joys of it is to salt it real good and kind of nibble on it to get the beans out, and you get the salt off of the husk. It's like salted peanuts, Part of the joy of salted peanuts is just peeling them and getting the salt all over them, and so. But yeah, they're very good. I recommend them. They're not strong, so even if you don't particularly like them, they're not going to be so strong as to be offensive. You'll still eat them, But yeah, give them a whirl. They're cheap, they're easy, they're nutritious. They've got plenty of healthy things in them. I think they're full of isoflavones and all sorts of other cool stuff. So that said, highly recommend. So if you guys will excuse me, yes, do try it. Most places out there serve them with pods, and the pods are salted, exactly. And they're really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I have made myself hungry, and I am going to go eat. That said, I'm going to throw you guys over to the man, the myth, the legend, my friend, Noisy Boy Jr., who is currently playing Smite, and will probably be interesting. Warning, he is an 18-plus channel. I mean, not that, there's people running around naked and all sorts of craziness, but, there's language and adult humor. That said, he's a fun guy, really nice guy, loud guy, and we're going to go over to him and raid him right now, and then I'm going to eat my food. Any chance you're going to be able to test out Blank? Yes, I am going to test out Blank in a box. If I don't get around to it tonight, I will get to it tomorrow night. But probably tonight, and I will let you know on Discord when I do. That said, thank you guys so much for coming by. I really appreciate all of you. Can't wait to see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.